The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Love that intro music. Welcome everyone, one and all. Especially if you're a Devils, Islanders, or Rangers fan, welcome to the Three Rails Metro Hockey Podcast. It is a no credentials required podcast, but we are part of the Belly Up Sports Media Network. My name is Ron McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts, and joining me the first one to join me is coming in from Connecticut. He is our Rangers insider, Brian Germanar. Brian, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing well. The Rangers distracted me from a horrific Giants game, so can't complain on that one.
Hey, stress-free Sunday for me. The Jets won on Thursday, and I'm a happy guy. Devils are doing okay. We'll talk about them momentarily, and I'm going to bring in our other guest, our Isles insider. He's a very sad Islanders and Seahawks fan today. In this recording, Mr. Staniel Smooth.
You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey.
Getting serenaded.
Oh boy. Not having a good weekend today, lads. Not having a good weekend.
Sorry, this is a recording / catharsis, if you will, especially for you, my friend, having to witness not only the Islanders losing today, but also your Seahawks losing today.
I might need one more of these.
That's okay. I'll allow it. The council approves.
The council approves? Delightful.
The council approves.
Oh, good Lord. So
approve. Screw it.
I would like to introduce the audience to this delightful drink. So for starters, I have a Death Star ice cube in here, and it's called Jack and Jill Went Down the Hill. And what it is, I don't know how much dry gin's in here, but it's 2 shots maybe of dry gin plus Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey Whiskey. Not having a good weekend, boys.
Enjoy responsibly.
Enjoy responsibly.
Oh, you'll be feeling good after the second one of those. You'll feel fine.
Oh, good
Let
Lord.
me tell you another thing.
One more.
The wide receiver market
is fun. Drunk me is fun, and all of a sudden, drunk me turns into
this one day?
drunk me turns into my alter ego is like Frederick or Steven or some shit. Depends.
You have another alter ego?
Depends on what I drink, and all of a sudden you need to cue the Old Spice button if Steven needs to get in the room. I'm so proud of that.
It sounds like you're describing emotional personality disorder.
Oh my goodness!
It's just like, what is that movie, Split?
All right, before Mr. Smooth has another psychotic breakdown, we just want to remind you to follow No Credentials Required on social media. Facebook.com/NoCredsREQ, Twitter, Instagram, the scarcely used TikTok @NoCredsREQ, YouTube.com /@NoCredsREQ, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you podcast, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, TuneIn, iHeart, Pandora, and don't forget to get notified. Get notified on Twitter. I refuse to call it X, and on YouTube, so you know when this video pops up. It'll be available on Mondays at midnight, so you can enjoy it on Monday or listen to the podcast on the podcast side. And speaking of the podcast, rate, review, leave a comment. 5-star rating is preferred. If you can leave a review on your preferred platform, do it. If you're on Spotify, leave a comment. You can leave a comment for every episode that we drop, whether it be the OG show or the Three Rails Hockey Podcast. We want you to. We might even read it on the air. So, and that includes comments in the comment section for YouTube. So this is because this is a YouTube exclusive show. But yeah, leave a comment. We might even read it on the air. No matter how much of a fan you are of any of our three teams, we'd appreciate it. Entirely.
Especially if you're Philadelphia.
Oh, especially.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially if you're Philly.
Philadelphia. The content would be glorious if you're a Flyers fan.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
good lord! Sweet, salty, delicious, and sweet content.
One thing we could all agree on is our hatred of Philadelphia.
I don't know about that. I tend to hate. I would hate Toronto more than Philadelphia.
It's true. You have a reason.
Fans can party.
Yeah, you have a reason. I think we both have a reason to hate Maple Leafs. Not Maple Leafs fans, but just Maple Leafs in particular. I still remember that flying elbow that Ty Domi delivered on Scott Niedermayer while Scott Stevens was in the box back in 2000. But hey, at least we advanced in the series. So,
Yeah, there you go.
Sean Bates, 2003.
There was a meme I actually dropped. I'll share it with you guys momentarily. Actually, I'll share it with you. It's a guy and a girl. The guy is dressed up as a Maple Leafs in a Maple Leafs jersey. The woman is dressed up as a Stanley Cup, and the tagline in Snapchat tagline says, "He'll never go home with her."
Hey.
Perfect.
Oh boy, both in different ways.
All right.
Yeah.
Staniel's got a lot to say, so we're gonna hit up. Nope, we're not gonna hit that one. We're gonna hit.
I guess I'm going.
My bad. All right. Dan's on the island. Staniel Smooth's on the island. Let's go to the island. Talk about the island. All right, let me give him the floor. It's been a rough week.
A blue Christmas.
Hey! None of that crap until after Black Friday.
No, we're not doing that. No Christmas songs before Thanksgiving.
That's right.
My mind's telling me no.
Okay, that's acceptable. Just don't pee on anyone.
How is that acceptable?
I said just don't urinate on anybody. But this was a
boy.
You had given us a spoiler in our group chat. This is gonna be a wild one.
So
I'm looking forward to this all day.
Oh yeah, me too. I have my
this,
popcorn ready.
You're gonna clip this. I would clip this and put this to YouTube and stuff like that.
It's not gonna be on YouTube, but I might as well clip it as a special.
Clip it.
Put it on Twitter.
We're going to clip some stuff because. Hold on.
He's to fortify himself.
Chug.
No, you don't chug that.
I do not chug whiskey anymore. Let's be clear here.
Anymore. Keyword.
Anymore. Shout out to CM Punk. So, where do I begin? The fan base, for starters, you guys know my thoughts and hilarious opinions on this fan base, and it has since been amplified in the text thread that I've been part of you guys for the last few weeks or so. A certain fan base, a certain set of fans who I will not name because, security purposes, said that Steve Cohen should find his way to owning the Islanders. Need I remind you? Hold on. Hold.
I'm holding.
Time out. Need I remind you? John Ledecky and Scott Malkin have been the Islanders owners. Well, more Ledecky than Malkin nowadays, but more. John Ledecky has been the owner of the Islanders for nearly 10 years. Since then, they have had, success that has led to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals appearances. Probably should have won the Cup one of those years, but, screw Tampa. Anyway.
2021.
Yeah, screw Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
If Yanni Gord. But they only scored 2 goals. But my frustrations is on Lou Lamoriello today. And it's more of the fact that I had a lot of anger. I'm going to try my best to get more of it. But a lot of the fan base has been clamoring for Lou to get fired since Barry Trotz was let go back 3 years ago. And the power play has been a bit better over the years. The penalty kill has not. The defense has not been better. Ilya Sorokin, off back surgery, has played like a god this season so far. Semyon Varlamov has not. The contracts given out to these certain players, Anders Lee, Adam Pelech, what happened to him? Adam Pelech and Ryan Pulock, for one point during this tenure, were arguably the best defensive pairing in the entire league. Now, it seems like they play like traffic cones. Adam Pelech specifically, don't know what happened to him. Noah Dobson, good God, what happened to you? Noah Dobson went from like an 80 to 90 point player to, Brian, you saw the game. Blind passes.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Blind passes. And MSG's Thomas Hickey had the stones and the cojones up his candy ass to say that the Islanders played aggressively and played fantastic in one of their best games of the year. Good God. I had to turn the game off with 5 minutes left in the game because it was atrocious. If the Seahawks, I said, you know what? If the Seahawks won today, I would have been a lot better to record for today's show. But since they lost in a heartbreaker in overtime, courtesy of a Geno Smith trifecta of interceptions. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. RELX, relax. This team is not going to go anywhere unless major changes are made. I'm not talking the coaching
Major
staff.
changes? Sorry.
I'm not talking the coaching staff this time. And the NHL is a boys' club league, and I saw a couple people saying, "Hey, the Islanders should fire Lou and bring in Ray Shero."
No,
As
stay
GM.
away. Stay away.
This guy who I will not name, I had to call him out and be like, please explain to me how Ray Shero solves this team. Please explain to me how Ray Shero, who, Ryan, you can attest to this, drove the Devils mad for a good 6 years?
Run that. The first couple seasons were okay. Brought in Taylor Hall. He won MVP. I think he's the only player in New Jersey Devils history who has won the Hart Trophy for League MVP. And he did that basically on his back, leading the Devils in 2017 to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was it.
Yeah, Taylor Hall. One great season of Taylor Hall.
I will credit him for trading said player to Arizona and getting one of their draft picks in return, who turned out to be Dawson Mercer. So that's okay.
That's a plus.
Okay. Twice.
But unless you're, I don't know, bringing in a young up-and-coming GM, let's be honest, lads. It's the NHL. It's never going to happen. Okay? I mean, with the exception of Chris Drury, but, you know.
But he was in the organization for how many years?
He was in the organization for how many years? Yeah, exactly. But, like, it's ridiculous. And the fan base that was calling for this team to, hey, let's be San Jose. At least we know what to expect. The same fan base that wanted Garth Snow to come back, look what you got now. Because the same guy who you want to be fired is also going to be responsible for, not even that. Rephrase. This Islander fan base is toxic as hell. We've been over this. And firing Lou isn't going to change anything. Unless you bring in a young GM that is going to gut this team top to bottom. I'm talking trade 90% of the roster. Anders Lee is a stiff. Casey Zizekas, love him to death. Islander through and through. I don't know what to deal with him. Oliver Wahlstrom, I don't know what to deal with him either. Pierre Engvall has 6 years left. You got 6 years left to Pierre Engvall. And the Bull Horvat, everyone except with the exception of Horvat and Sorokin, gone.
Barzal gone?
Barzy.
Wow.
Barzy's never going to shoot the puck. Barzal will never shoot the puck unless he's on a team like, I don't know, Pittsburgh or some shit. That makes me sick. Then he'll shoot the puck. But until then, he's never going to shoot. He's always a pass-first guy. Now, my opinion will change over the next few weeks. We shall see how this team goes for the next, what day is it, the 3rd?
Yep.
I don't know.
Today's November 3rd.
3 months? Give it 3 months?
Give it till February.
When's the trade deadline? February 20-something?
I'll do the
Google.
research. Hold on.
March 7th.
7th.
March
Jinx, let me
7th.
coke.
Damn.
Nice. But
Respect.
It
But
took me
damn.
a second. It took me a second to get that. But until, if the Islanders are, I don't know, 12 games under 500 by March, by March, gut the team. You got no choice. You won't have a choice at that point because you have to get as much salary back as possible. You have to get as many like draft picks as possible. And it sucks because, I love the team. I do, but I watched this team play against the Rangers at MSG today, and I tweeted, I was like, this team stinks. They can't move the puck. They can't pass the puck. Every time they pass the puck, it bounces off their stick. Noah Dobson looks like a shell of himself. He makes... Oh, Jesus Christ. What's an obscure defenseman I can make fun of today?
Weaver Hayek.
No, too easy, too easy. He makes Ryan Suter in his later years at Minnesota look like a 3-time Norris Trophy winner. Good God. Like, Kim, the Isles fan, I love her to death. She's awesome. And even she said, it's like, Dobson, what happened? What happened to him? I don't know. This was a guy who was averaging nearly a point per game last season. Now it's like, what does he have, like a -7 on the year? It's ridiculous. Sorokin can only carry you so far. And then after a while, it's just like good. He's going to carry this team until his back breaks again. And then what? Then what? Rick DiPietro 2.0.
Except without the contract.
Except without the
Yeah.
contract. But the 13-year deal does help a
Dobson's a
little bit.
-4.
July
Dobson's
1st?
a minus. Noah Dobson, who is arguably the best defenseman on this team, is a -4. And his
Bad.
power play efficiency is god awful. This power play is ranked 25th in the league. The penalty kill, 31st. It also doesn't help that your wife-to-be is a Rangers fan.
No.
That's just salt in the wound.
It's lemon juice, too.
So, not having a good weekend. On top of the fact I had to go to a very, very crowded wedding on Saturday. Oh, we got news, I see.
Oh, breaking news.
Nothing.
Oh.
It's my phone just being weirdo.
Oh, okay. I had the stinger ready.
I just threw my
but-
phone.
That's how upset he is.
Not in a good mood, boys. Not in a good
Clearly.
mood.
Clearly.
So much so that I'm drinking Jack and Gin. Who would have thought? My dumbass will be drinking Jack and Gin on a Sunday night. But here we are.
Here we are.
And my ice cube broke.
No!
Oh! Where's the Darth Vader sound?
Hold
I
on.
don't have it. You have it. I know you do. I know you well enough to have that scene from Revenge of the
I
Sith.
don't have that, but I do have this. Uploading. Processing.
Waiting.
I do have this.
Perfect timing considering the time of the year that it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
what is she doing now?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably taking care of her 17 cats with her blue ass hair. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Time to go.
No more alcohol.
Time to go to the city.
I was going to turn to Howard Stern in 1994.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, I'm hysterical.
All right.
Amazing.
Jerry.
Let's talk some Rangers, Brian. What's going on in Rangerland?
I mean, at the start of the week, it was pretty negative. They dropped a game to the Capitals 4-3, which probably had the Rangers play the worst they've been playing all season. Like, the first period, they were completely overmatched. I think they had, 2 shots the entire period. Mika Zibanejad's in the media complaining about ice time, how he can't get into a rhythm and all that stuff, which,
wait.
Mika, you get paid $8.5 million. You are the number one center for this team, and you've played like garbage since the postseason last year. Maybe don't complain about ice time, and maybe try to put some points on the board before you go running to the media. But it wasn't enough. Laviolette shook the lines up, and it's garnered some pretty good results. Last night wasn't the best. They won. They did win, but it was more because of Igor Shesterkin, showing why he should be the highest goaltender in the league. Lafreniere, another great game. But you had a game against the Islanders today. The lines seem to be gaining the chemistry. Played well. Zibanejad had 3 assists. We got to see a lot of Panarin had a couple goals. So things are really kind of going together. I think Rangers fans are starting to panic because of Nico Zibanejad and Chris Kreider. But with the line shakeup, I'm kind of wait. I was prepared to come on this show and rip Mika to shreds, but I kind of want to see how he does playing with Panarin and Lafreniere and see if that can get him going. I mean, he had 3 assists today. Like, that was something. It's a heartbeat. It's a sign of life. So, I'll see how he plays out this week. And then if he's still playing like garbage, the Rangers need to have a very serious conversation in what the future of Mika Zibanejad is. Because, I mean, we're kind of stuck with him, but
I was about to say, you're stuck with him.
Yeah.
Stuck with him, yeah, because he had the no movement clause. But, it could turn out to be, one of the worst contracts on the roster right now.
Hold on. You're telling me you only just started putting him with Lafreniere and Panarin now?
Just started, yeah. He was with Kreider and Smith the entire season.
So, Kreider, who is a borderline second-line winger.
Yeah, he's on the third line right now with Tito and Kakko.
So he's at best a second-line winger his entire career. Essentially. Lafreniere, who you just gave how much money to him?
7.4.
$56 million? Yeah. Was that the McDonald's arch that you just drew?
What was that?
No, I was trying to draw a dollar sign with my left hand, but this is better.
It looked like you drew the McDonald's arches.
Or I could have done a Bret Hart.
WCW.
Call back.
Oh, God. Shout out to the Montreal Screwjob.
Yep.
But you just paid $50-something million to Alexis Lafreniere. Yeah. Mika Zibanejad ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, no, Mika's stuck here with us. I think the more crazy story is that Lafreniere still isn't getting power play 1 minutes and putting up the numbers he is. That's the crazier story.
Hold on. I have a rant here, but I need to check the standings. So you're telling me a team that has 17 points and is top in the Metro Division is wondering about, hey, let's get our former number 1 overall draft pick more power play minutes. You are killing it so far.
Mm-hmm.
The only team...
Ranger fan.
Carolina's second?
No, Jersey's second.
Yeah.
Well, you're
No,
tied.
we're tied.
You guys, Washington and Carolina. Washington is right now.
6-game winning streak. They're the hottest team in the league right now. That's why they jumped the standings.
Washington right now is like the redheaded stepchild who you tried to throw in the locker because he stole your peanut butter sandwich, and like your red eyes black dragon rare edition card or some shit, and you banished him to the shadow realm that is your locker.
Nerd.
It sound like I haven't heard of any of that.
I'm not. I'm lost like you, Brian.
I'm like, I know like the Charizard, the holographic Charizard is valuable. I don't know what he's talking about.
Magic the Gathering.
I was gonna say, is it Magic?
Maserati, Hot Body. Cue the music. Where's the Old Spice?
I'm on a horse.
I'm on a horse.
On a horse.
No, sir. I don't like it.
No, don't like that.
Oh boy, drunk.
Hold
me
on.
is
I got
fun.
it. I got it.
No, sir, I don't like it.
What's to do with airline peanuts? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at Spot Track. I'm looking at this contract. He has no buyout clause. He can't buy. He basically can't buy out his contract. You're stuck with him until 2030, and he's an unrestricted free agent in 2030 when he's 37 years old.
Yeah, no, it's looking back, it's going to be a pretty bad contract because, like, when he was on the first line with the Rangers, and the first line was him, Kreider, and then insert any right wing you want, whether it be Frank Petrano, Ralston for last season. When you put that first line up, yeah, other than Buchnevich, he wasn't. He was fine for us, but he's not the player he is now. He broke out as soon as we traded him because we traded him because in our minds we had Jack Eichel locked up. Like maybe we should wait till we have the player first and then do the cap moves. Is that your face on a water bottle?
Is that a time to BS decal on your water bottle?
I'm on a bottle.
Bottle.
You'll get the timing eventually, Ryan.
Perfect.
I'm so proud of you. So proud of you.
Bartender, cut him off.
No, keep him going. This is great.
He's dying. He's
Wait.
dying.
Wait. I have a gator head.
Now he's just grabbing stuff off his desk.
Talk about the jaws of life, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna play that out.
Hey,
God.
question. Jimmy Garoppolo of the Los Angeles Rams he was suspended earlier this season for PEDs. Was one of his PED subscriptions Viagra? Yes. Still,
I think I told that joke on your
you
show.
did tell me that joke. I stole it.
There's an injury to his third leg. That's enough.
You know what else his nickname is? Long Johnson. I'm done.
Okay, so
I will
Mika
say it's one of my
Zibanejad,
favorite videos with
horrible
Garoppolo.
contract.
It's Garoppolo, and I forgot who he's sitting with, but like they're at the Warriors game, and every cheerleader says hi to Garoppolo and completely ignore the guy he's sitting with. And I think it's like George Kittle or something.
I mean, to be fair, have you seen Jimmy Garoppolo's face?
I have, yes. It makes
it
makes total sense to me why they were doing it. It's just very funny to see him sitting there.
To be fair, he makes Channing Tatum look ugly.
I'm not gonna play it.
No,
We
you're not.
pointed it out.
That wasn't Old Spice worthy.
No, that wasn't. But yes, it's true. He makes Channing Tatum look like Quasimodo.
It's meant to say the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yes, I did. So Brian,
Well done.
Yeah.
so this Mika Zibanejad complaining about ice time and yet he's making $8.5 million this year.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah. I wouldn't complain at all either. You get an $8.5 million paycheck. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like the Rangers have had these problems year in and year out. Like, look at the locker room at some point. Like, it's a guy like Mika a right voice to have when he's complaining about ice time. And like, sure, he's not getting the 20 minutes a night, but he's getting like 16 to 18 minutes a night. I'm not seeing where his issue is. It's really based off performance. The Trocheck, Panarin, Lafreniere line was the best, arguably one of the best lines in the league. The Heedle, Cooley, and Kako line was playing out of its mind, so it was going to get more minutes. Your line was not playing at the level those two were. So the Rangers want to win as many games as possible. They're going to bump you down and bump those guys up. It's that simple. At the end of the day, you want more ice time, go out on the ice and prove that you deserve more ice time. Don't say because you have a letter or you're making $8.5 million. If you're not producing, I'm sorry, we need the guys that are producing out there more. That's that simple at the end of the day. And the fact that he runs to the media, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth if you're a Rangers fan. Like, I wish I could kill him more, but he had 3 assists today, and like it's kind of hard to kill him when like he had a new lines mates, and it kind of worked out for us.
Yeah, I can understand how it's difficult to rip on a guy, especially if he had played well the day we're recording our podcast. But yeah, I mean,
Tuesday, I probably would have crucified him.
well, I won't go that far. I mean,
Well, like, I would. It would have been more of. It would have been more, brutal against him. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, Rangers are in top of the Metro Division.
Unless you collapse, you're fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Exactly. Like, it's, I don't want to say the Rangers are quote unquote boring, but like they're probably gonna, they're not boring, but like where this team is going. They're gonna be in the playoffs. It doesn't matter until you get to that point.
You could be the Yankees.
The Yankees. Could be the Yankees.
You might as well. I mean, I was gonna say you might as well be, but
I mean,
you don't have all those banners.
I don't know how much I'm gonna complain.
Listen, I'm a Yankee fan through and through, but I have torn that team to shreds on my show for the last 3 years, and deservedly so. You could be the Yankees where you win 100 games, you score a bunch of goals, and then you proceed to choke in Game 7 every year. You could be that.
Defense in the field, yeah, that could be us. I mean, we're getting to that point where what we've done the past 3 seasons of completely choking the playoffs. We go all in for Kaden and Tarasenko and losing 7 games to the Devils in the first round.
Well, that's also coaching.
Yeah, it is. That was Gallant being an idiot.
Yeah, Gallant was not great in the last, especially in the last part of the year. He was not great. He was having shouting. He was allegedly having shouting matches with Chris Drury. He was dumping on his players. It wasn't a great look.
He hated every young player on that team. He hated Lafreniere, Kako. Never gave him ice time.
He looks like the kind of guy that thinks The Godfather Part 3 is his favorite movie.
Definitely.
That's an insult.
The worst part about Gallant is that
he thinks
all
Rocky
the problems...
5 is good.
Wait, what?
He thinks Rocky 5 was good.
No, he thinks Rise of Skywalker was good.
I was just gonna say he loves the sequel trilogies. Loves them.
He thinks Kathleen Kennedy is a fantastic executive.
He thought Rose was the best lead in that, was the best character in the threequel.
They nailed Finn's character arc.
He thought Derek Carr deserved the MVP in 2016.
Wow. That's you reached so far. You separated your shoulder on that comparison.
My leg.
My leg.
Oh,
That'd be a
my
good one
leg.
for the sound. That's a good one for the soundboard. The my leg from SpongeBob.
Ow, my neck. Ow, my back.
I reached
Oh,
too
my
hard.
neck and my back.
I'm a coochie and a crack.
Oh no. Thanks, Ketis.
No problem.
All right.
Inconceivable.
I think it might be a good time to take a quick break. But when we come back, we'll talk about my New Jersey Devils. We'll also break down some of the other stuff that happened in the NHL state this week. Stay tuned stand by for more Three Rails Metro Hockey podcast on No Credentials Required. This episode of No Credentials Required is brought to you by Invader Coffee. For the coffee lover who wants good, quality coffee with no bullshit and no filler, Invader Coffee is an ultra-premium, veteran-owned coffee company proudly delivering only the best coffee your hard-earned money can buy. They aim to only serve the highest quality, organic, air-roasted coffee beans sourced from free trade farms all over the world. They keep things simple. The best coffee at an affordable price in order to provide you with the value you deserve for your morning boost. 100% fair trade, 100% organic coffee beans, 100% air-roasted, 100% money back guarantee. Visit invadercoffee.com, enter promo code BELLYUP at checkout, and receive 15% off. That's right, folks. Invader Coffee, they've been an affiliate sponsor with No Credentials Required for quite a while. And I got to tell you, this coffee, Staniel Smooth might need some of this coffee tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning.
Oh,
but
Jesus.
If you're going to get yourself some coffee, my friend, you want to get yourself some Invader Coffee, because Invader Coffee, as the handsome bearded man in that commercial set, it's veteran owned, veteran operated. They make air roasted beans. None of that garbage you see in the grocery stores and the shelf. It's all ground and it tastes terrible. No, this
Starbucks.
is. Well, I was gonna say it rhymes with Carbucks, but Carducks also rhymes with Lolgers, Fleeing Fountain, but none of that garbage stuff. It's air roasted, so you get none of that acidity, none of the mold that starts to develop when you get your coffee. That's where you get that bitterness from. This is legit stuff. So what you want to do is visit the link in the description. It's their affiliate link for No Credentials Required. They have the seasonal flavor out right now. Pumpkin pecan. It's delightful, but they also have other great brands. They also have more seasonal flavors on the way for Christmas. So it's awesome stuff. Some of my favorite ones come out this time of year. But let's visit the link in the description for Invader Coffee. You help out the show by ordering through our affiliate link. You save 15% off your order with promo code BELLYUP. Helps us, helps the network, helps the show if you use our affiliate link. It's great coffee. They also have cold brew now. Cold brew coffee in cans. So yeah, get yourself some cold brew in the coffee and yourself can of cold brew. Staniel Smooth can stick it in his cocktail. But invadercoffee.com, again, use the link in the description and a promo code BELLYUP for 15% off your order. Yes.
I had a thought and I lost it.
How much Jack and Jill have you drank?
This show is off the rails. This is the third. It's on the fourth rail now.
I don't know.
Call it the Four Rails Metro Hockey Podcast. I don't know what the fourth rail's for, but maybe it goes upstate. Maybe I don't know.
Just go off the rail.
The fourth rail, it just leads to Sparta, and you get a kick to the face.
I thought it led Valhalla, but could be
inconceivable.
For somewhere. All right, let's talk about the New Jersey Devils.
But Ryan, what about the ROUSs?
Oh no,
Roads unusual sizes?
Yes, I know who they are.
I don't believe they exist.
Until you go through the fire swamp. All right, New Jersey Devils this week. Fair week. They had a fair week. Start off while we were recording this episode, last week's episode, the Devils were playing the Anaheim Ducks at the Rock, the friendly confines of the Rock, and summarily beat the Anaheim Ducks 6-2 off a very strong second and third period, where they allowed no goals, but they scored 4. Power play got going. However, Curtis Lazar will be out, according to Coach Sheldon Keefe, for a significant. I put in air quotes here, significant amount of time due to a knee injury. He had surgery. I don't know what kind of surgery he had. Would it be arthroscopic? I don't know if he went under the scope to repair some things, but I guess it had to do with an incident with Radko Gudas, the Anaheim Ducks captain, getting tangled up and getting his knee taken out. So.
Who also has a glorious beard.
Yes, absolutely.
He does.
He does.
He does have a glorious beard.
He does.
He's a bit of a troublemaker, but he's got a great beard.
He does have a
just
great beard.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a skosh. So Devils in their home stand on a high note, 6-2 win over the Anaheim Ducks, and they travel out to Western Canada, and they absolutely skunk the Vancouver Canucks in the Hughes Bowl by a score of 6-0. 6-0. 6 goals scored. Markstrom with a shutout. And by the way, if you raise your hand, if you had Nico Hischier tied for first place in the NHL in goals on November 3rd, 2024.
Chaos.
Absolute chaos. Absolutely.
Introducing a little anarchy.
He is currently tied with Sam Reinhart, Nikita Kucherov, and Cole Caulfield with 10 goals apiece in 14 games. And what's interesting is that I was listening to a little bit of the game on Tuesday when they went out to Vancouver, and he sure scores the first goal of the game. And Chico Resch, the astute color commentator for New Jersey Devils television and radio for the better part of 3 decades. Legendary guy. I believe he played for all three of our teams during his career.
Yep, he did. He was Billy Smith's backup for a little while.
Yep. And he was with the New Jersey Devils. Actually, he was with the Colorado Rockies before they moved to New Jersey.
I remember that game too. They scored more than 8 goals on him too. The Owls did in the mid 80s.
Yep. Colorado Rockies were not good. Neither were the New Jersey Devils initially. But he was talking about Nico Hischier. He says, yeah, I've allowed 1,200 goals in my career in the National Hockey League. But I can tell when somebody's worked on their shot over the offseason. And Nico Hischier, he's showing the work. His work shows itself with the 10 goals and 14 games so far. Selke nominee. He's going to be a Selke nominee for years to come. But the fact that he's adding goal scoring to his repertoire is actually great, because it takes the pressure off Jack Hughes, takes the pressure off Jesper Bratt. You can not only be on the power play, but also be on penalty kills. So he's the best all-around player on this team so far this season.
It's like the next generation Backstrom to Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah. And Ovi's climbing up the ranks too. So he's about, I think he's 39. He's 39 behind Wayne Gretzky now. So, or not 39.
38.
38. Yeah, something like that.
Tuesday.
Can we also appreciate the fact that Wayne Gretzky's goals record has stood for 20-something years?
More than that. You're right.
He retired in 99. 25 years.
Yep.
It's about to be broken. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And unless Connor McDavid scores 200 points a season, the points record's going to stay for eternity.
Yep. True.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So a good night on sports. Yeah, it's sports. So a good night on Tuesday for the Devils, 6-0 over the Vancouver Canucks, and they travel to Calgary and get shut out by the Calgary Flames, and it looked close for a while. It looked very close. I didn't watch the game, wasn't able to watch the game, but from all indications, it was a close game up until the third period. And former Devil Blake Coleman, great guy on and off the ice. Got to know him when I was in Albany. When he was at Albany, was the Albany Devils. Great guy on and off the ice. He scored, and Jonathan Huberdeau scored in the matter of 28 seconds apart in the third period, and that was basically
tough.
the game right
That's
there.
tough.
And Dan Vladar, credit to him, had a great game against the Devils. Unfortunately, the Devils got another injury when Nate Bastian, in a fight with Ryan Lomberg, had his jaw broken. So he's going to be out for quite a few games with a broken jaw. He's one of their best penalty killers. He's a guy in the fourth line who can get a face off win, do some of the grimy work. Unfortunately, he's going to be out for a significant amount of time. So the injuries are starting to, I wouldn't say pile up for the Devils, but it's concerning when one of your best forwards, or a second line forward, or one of your top six forwards goes out, and then one of your bottom six forwards goes out. So you got to bring the reinforcements from Utica. I think I saw something. It was Tag Bertuzzi, one of the Bertuzzi boys, plays for the New Jersey Devils system, was called up from Adirondack to Utica the other day to fill in for another spot for the Devils. But so far, I'm not. I mean, right now the Devils are sitting tied for eighth. Well, actually tied for sixth in the league standings with 16 points in 14 games. Got a little bit of work to do. The defense improved. Brett Pesce, Luke Hughes, solid pairing so far. They had a couple of games to kind of get their feet under them, get some pairing sorted out. But so far, so good on that part. The Calgary game aside, decent week. Got Edmonton coming up tomorrow on Monday night without Connor McDavid, without the aforementioned Connor McDavid. By the way, he's out for 2 to 3 weeks with an ankle injury, so they won't be having him. But I'm still, it's the no creds bowl because the OG show Dustin is a big Edmonton Oilers fan. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game there, especially without Connor McDavid in the lineup. And after that, they've got, according to the schedule here.
I have a question.
Yes.
Speaking of broken jaw, every time I think of a broken jaw, I think of that scene from King Kong where Kong just rips apart that Tyrannosaurus Rex jaw and just plays with the jaw. Is that what happens when you break your jaw? You play with it every now and then. It just goes like, nyah.
You get bored and start playing with it.
I think it gets wired shut.
Ooh, that sounds painful.
Yeah, it does.
You gotta drink nothing but protein shakes for like 2 weeks before the wiring gets taken. Wiring gets taken out.
It sounds horrible.
It sounds horrible, but no. Well, I think broken jaw. I think of Homer Simpson running into the Dedrick, the Mike Tyson parody. Dedrick, I can't remember his name. Dedrick something. I'll look it up. Simpsons, Mike Tyson.
No!
Dedrick something. Can't remember his name. Anyway.
Real-time research, ladies and
gentlemen.
Great.
Great.
Dedrick Tatum. Dedrick Tatum. That's what his name was in the show. Dedrick Tatum. Dredrick Tatum. Dredrick Tatum.
I derailed the show.
That's what I think of when Homer runs into Dedrick Tatum's statue and breaks his jaw. I've seen his jaw go like this. So, yeah. So they got Edmonton at home against Montreal, and they travel to the island on Saturday night. And you know what that means? Gotta break it out.
Oh God.
Gotta break it out.
Oh boy.
Oh man. Hey.
So one of us will be talking all sorts of smack for the next recording. That's for sure.
I hope it's me.
You need it right now. You need it,
dude.
Look, we got one over our Martin Devils on last week's recording. So,
Brian, I need a lot of things right now. One of them is just the gym and blasting Tool into my ears.
All right.
No,
not right now.
No one.
Not right. Oh, go for it. But you're drinking Jack and Jill went down the hill right now. So
That's
Jack
a
and Gin went
great
down the
name.
hill.
That's a great drink name, by the way.
That is a great drink.
That's
name.
a fantastic drink. I thought of
bar,
that.
I buy that immediately.
I thought of that at work. And I was like, I wonder it'd be a good idea for a drink one of these days. And I thought, Jack and Jill went down the hill. That sounds like a fantastic drink idea. Dry gin with Jack of any kind, chilled glass, no ice, straight. Dangerous game. But
very dangerous game.
Very dangerous game.
Very dangerous game. All right, before we get out of here, gonna spend a few minutes talking about the rest of the NHL. And I think we're about that time of year when we see the power rankings really start to ramp up. I personally I wouldn't say despise power rankings, but I have a love-hate relationship with them. But based upon the standings currently, and I'll share my screen with the viewers on the YouTubes.
The tube.
Here's what the standings look like currently. We got Winnipeg, far and away the best team in the league, at 11-1. They actually beat the Lightning. They put a 7th spot in the Lightning today.
A 7-burger.
A 7-burger in the Lightning. That's a tough thing to do. Then you got the defending champion Florida Panthers, followed by the Minnesota Wild. By the way, raise your hand if you had the Minnesota Wild at 8-1-2 at this point in the season.
I will for chaos purposes.
Fine.
The Wild are like one of those teams that just constantly are good and make the playoffs, but like once the playoffs come around, I have no thought they're gonna do anything.
No. They're good.
Maybe win one round.
Enough. They're good, but they're good for maybe maybe 2 rounds, and then they kind of flop.
Can we also introduce the Florida Panthers in like a Paul Heyman impersonation? The reigning, defending, undisputed, universal heavyweight champion of the world, Brock Lesnar.
I was kind of going for that, but I forgot the other parts he said. I remember reigning, defending. I couldn't remember undisputed. Anyway, so Florida, Minnesota, Rangers, Vegas Golden Knights. They're always going to be in that.
You mean the Vegas? List. You mean the Vegas Golden Pockets?
Listen,
oh my God,
you can't fault what Brad McCrimmon has been able to do over the last couple of seasons, and Bill Foley over the last 7 seasons. So I can't.
Bill Foley looks like he does your taxes.
He probably did taxes at once upon a time. And by the way,
I'm gonna Google this.
By the way, went to the U.S. Military Academy. He's an Army guy, so good on his Black Knight.
He's having a great season.
Having a great season so far in football. Got to visit.
Could end in a couple weeks when they play Notre Dame at Yankee Stadium, but
that ain't happening. All right, so we got Vegas, Carolina, Washington, New Jersey, Los Angeles, who's kind of boring. I don't know who they. I mean, other than Anze Kopitar, I don't know who this team is. Dallas, Tampa. Tampa is on the struggle bus right now. Toronto's on the struggle bus as well. Vancouver, they've only played 10 games. Screw the Leafs. Calgary, who just
what are you more concerned about, Tampa or Toronto?
Wait, what?
What are you more concerned about, Tampa or Toronto?
Let's be honest here. Toronto is a dumpster fire because
I'm much more Toronto.
That team deserves nothing. That fan base deserves nothing. They deserve nothing but the curse of Harold Ballard, which they've been dealing with for 50-something years.
Yeah. So Vancouver, only 10 games played, 5-2-3. Calgary just beat the Devils to break a 4-game losing streak. Utah, 13 points. Utah, the Arizona Coyotes with money. Then Boston. Talk about a team on the struggle bus. Boston, 6-1.
You mean the Boston choke party?
Oh, I got a break. Hang on. Let me stop sharing this. I got a PSA for my friend.
The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
That's fair.
I said Boston. I had to play the PSA.
Yeah, true.
So after Boston comes Ottawa, St. Louis, Columbus. Columbus, who has been a surprising team. Start the season. Detroit, Edmonton, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Anaheim, Colorado, 25th in the league.
Oof.
To be fair,
fair.
Colorado is missing a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
Rantanen's out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mika Rantanen's Landeskog's out too, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So they're missing basically 2/3 of their entire offense.
Yeah.
Well, McCarr counts, but you know what I mean.
No, yeah, exactly.
Can we also understand? Do you guys remember who the head coach of the Seattle Kraken is?
Dan Bilsma.
Dan
Bilsma, sorry.
Oh, good God. I've listened to a bunch of Seattle talk radio, and they were pissed when they hired him. They were pissed.
Well, he was their coach, and he was the head coach of their AHL team, Coachella Valley.
Yeah, but at the same point, it's like
2 seasons.
Any Pittsburgh fan will tell you that Dan Bilsma is a train wreck of a head coach.
Well, Buffalo will say the same thing.
Well, Buffalo, we don't count the Sabres, but
Yeah.
you know.
So here's the injured. Here's the injuries for Colorado.
Regardless.
So here are the injuries for Colorado. Valeri Nichushkin, he's out for a while. Let's see. Miles Wood, he's out. Ross Colton's out. Jonathan Drouin is out. So yeah, a good significant portion of the roster
Rantanen's in there too, right?
No, Rantanen's off.
What about Landeskog?
He's off too.
No kidding. So
those are the injuries. Yeah, those are the injuries.
Just got back.
Wow.
Yeah. So Colorado is certainly in the struggle bus, followed by the Islanders, the Predators, who had all those free agency signings. They're still struggling.
Beginning of the offseason, falling apart again.
Nashville is just a disaster because you signed all those pieces and they were the presumed Stanley Cup favorite for the Western Conference for like 2 months. And then people forgot, oh yeah, we actually have to play the season.
Yep. On paper.
Every offseason we do it. We always like, oh, the team that made the splashy moves are going to, make a deep playoff run. And then they struggle. And then we're like, how'd that happen? Like, we do it every single year.
Andrew Ladd, 7-year deal.
Ooh.
That one.
Yikes.
Yeah. Remind
me. After Nashville, you got Buffalo doing Buffalo things. Montreal, they're young, they're rebuilding. Chicago, same thing. The Flyers and tied for 31st place right now. Then the last but not least, the San Jose Sharks.
I have a question.
3-8-2. Fun fact about, actually not so fun fact about the San Jose Sharks. The first team in league history to start with consecutive 9-game winless streaks.
Wow.
That's bad.
I have a question for you. Let's play a game. Who was the first coach to get fired?
Ooh.
Is it Torts?
Well, it's either coach or GM.
Either Torts or Burnett. If Nashville doesn't get their act together, I think Andrew Burnett's gone.
I think Torts is fired because Torts has ran himself out of town multiple places.
Yeah, I can see Torts being fired, especially if they continue to struggle in that offseason. He's definitely on the hot seat.
What about Mike Johnson in Pittsburgh?
Really?
Hey, Pittsburgh right now is.
Who's their coach again? Hold on,
I think it's Mike Johnson. Still.
No, you're wrong.
I'm wrong. Okay, that's what I thought.
Hold on.
No, it's
real-time research.
Mike Sullivan.
Okay, I said Mike.
Okay. Mike Sullivan is one of the most confusing head coaches around because he has such good teams and does nothing with them. He has done nothing after those 2 Stanley Cup runs. He's done nothing. Nothing. And the only reason he's still around is because Crosby
it's the 2 cups.
It's the 2 cups and Crosby. It's the only reason he's still there. But
pretty much.
That's a head coach I would take in a heartbeat. If Sully was, if Sully,
I think he's a Penguin until Crosby retires, and they move on with this core. Like they officially start the rebuild.
Yeah, they're gonna eventually have to move away from that. They're eventually going to have to rebuild.
Like years ago.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
The
yeah, it's like the Red Wings from a few years ago when they had like a 25-year playoff streak. It's like, yeah, they're still making the playoffs, but they should have rebuilt. Penguins are the same way.
Here between Pittsburgh and Detroit is Detroit had Ken Holland, who still thought the Red Wings were Stanley Cup contenders. Kyle Dubas, I'm sorry, but Kyle Dubas just he looks like every nerd kid in middle school. Right? Doesn't he?
Yeah.
He looks like the guy that plays competitive Minecraft. I get roast worthy when I drink.
I mean, yeah, he looks like a prime candidate for like a wedgie or swirly in an '80s movie. So
no, he looks like the president. He looks like the president of the Homeowners Association.
Oh,
hang on.
Always up on you about like.
Ryan's got something.
I'm trying to look, see what Kyle Dubas looks like. Yeah, he definitely looks like a guy who's captain of the math club.
The president of the Homeowners Association.
He's the captain of the math
club. The garbage cans back.
Math club, chess club, robotics club.
Also, his wife has a very, very intimate relationship with their yoga instructor.
Giselle.
Cue the spice button.
That's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That's close enough.
Yeah, still meat worthy.
Yeah, but you can't kick anybody's ass
doing
yoga.
I mean, true.
No. He looks like he's into cycling.
He looks like he could host a show on MSNBC.
No. The guy with the
No.
Yeah.
The khakis. What's his name?
He had the same glasses as Rachel Maddow and Chris Hayes.
I have a question. Do you guys remember Greg Anthony?
Yeah.
Does Greg Anthony look like a balloon with a face drawn on it?
I need to pull up a picture.
Hold on.
You have to pull a picture
of the research.
Greg Anthony. He does.
Yes. Yes, he does.
He does.
He looks like Balloony from Phineas and Ferb.
Oh my god. I got another one for you. I don't know if I could say it, but it's whatever. I don't care. Tom Brady, age 45, looks like a middle-aged lesbian.
Yes. The haircut.
Fun fact, we were born the same month and the same year. That's all we have in common.
That's all we have in common.
That's all we have in common.
However,
except I don't look like a middle-aged lesbian. Let's put it.
No, which is fine. No. That's considered a compliment.
Like, are you really sad about that? Like, I'd be okay with that.
Fun story before we close up shop for the day.
Yes.
I had really long hair many years ago. It was like down to like my shoulders and like below my shoulders at one point. Dang. It looked like Mel Gibson in Braveheart. That's how long it was. And so much so that the comments I kept getting was like, oh, hey, Mel Gibson. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I never saw Braveheart at that time. I was like, what are you talking about? I've never, what is this? Like, you've never seen Braveheart? Like, no, I've never seen Braveheart. What are you talking about? And then I finally decided to shave it off. And then people were like, oh man, your hair looked good. I tried growing my hair out one time. And then I completely forget it's hard as hell to maintain. So that's why I appreciate you people, Ryan, the bald people. Dr. Eggman.
Yeah, my
Dr. Eggman.
Yeah.
No.
Where's Sonic?
No, you look like Sean Wallace from Princess Bride.
Thank you. I think
that's a great Brian. I'm so proud you got that.
No, I
might be young, but I've seen all the good '80s movies.
Good for you.
Inconceivable.
Good for you. No, my Total Football Talk extra co-host Drew Willingham will attest. He grew out his hair for a good year and a half.
Oh, Macho Man?
Macho Man.
The comment I posted on the podcast.
Oh God. But yeah, he'll attest that it was really difficult to maintain, like having all that hair.
It's
longest
really
time.
difficult. I don't know how people do it, but it's
I don't know how
whatever.
people do it either, because I haven't grown my hair out in ages. Can't remember.
We
the
can
last
tell.
time yeah.
Jesus, Brian.
Look, man, I started picking this the month before I turned 40. So
Did
I
I
was like,
ever show you guys
I'm
what
just gonna-
I shaved my head a year ago? Oh God, I never showed you this. Hold on, I gotta go back in time to the archives. This was so. Context is key here. So, me and my now fiance, we had our first date at like a coffee shop. The day before our first date, I shaved my head.
Why'd you make me shave my head?
No,
I actually
I can fucking
hold
think
on.
of when.
Well, first of all, it's
I met your
hysterical
mother.
because my beard was a little more like perked out and shit like that, and I wore a white shirt in this picture, so I basically look like a bearded Mr. Clean.
You look like DJ
Wow.
Khaled.
What?
You look like DJ Khaled.
Does
No.
Yeah.
like
Yes.
a knockoff version, 100%.
With that white shirt on, you
That's
look like
a first.
You look like you look like the Wish.com DJ Khaled.
Bootleg version.
he mad.
Man, Islanders lost. He's a discount. This is Seahawks. He's a discount. TJ Khaled. Like, it's not a good night.
I'm not having a good weekend, boys.
you showed it. I mean, I just gotta
Really?
go with it.
I did. I ran my. It's like low hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself 3 raspberries while you're at it.
Already did, and then some. All right, we're gonna wrap things up before we go.
Give a dog a bone. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. It's a giant bone. All right, Brian, where can the people find you?
Oh God.
Find me on Twitter at BrianPG1016. On YouTube, we have the 3rd and 10 podcast. Me and my co-host Nathan doing football stuff on YouTube at 3rd and 10, and then Belly Up Sports writing articles. A lot of hockey this week. Mets all season coming up. So yeah, that's what's going on with me.
All right, Staniel Zen. Where can the people find you?
Individuals of the interweb. They can find me at Staniel Smooth on Twitter, Instagram, at Time to BS Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads if you're into that shit or whatever the hell. We don't kink shame in this department. Also on TikTok at Staniel Smooth.
I don't know that kind of a. I don't know that was that kind of a podcast.
I didn't realize Threads was kink.
I didn't know if there was a kinky either.
I
Well,
don't know either.
something I learned something new today. All right,
What I
for
learned
me.
in boating school
Yes,
is
that's what you need.
As for me, as for your co-host,
what I learned in boating school is
You know, I learned something new today.
Boating school is.
So you can find me on the old
this is
Twitters
Patrick.
at whoisRyanMCC.
Krusty
Same
Krab.
on Instagram. Same on Instagram at whoisRyanMCC. For no credentials required, however, you can find it on these platforms. We can find here on Facebook.com/NoCardsREQ, Twitter, Instagram, the scarcely used TikTok at NoCardsREQ, YouTube.com/NoCardsREQ, and on the podcast side, find the podcast wherever you podcast, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, and don't forget you get yourself notified on Twitter. I still refuse to call it X, and on YouTube. So when the video drops for this podcast episode, or when we go live on the OG show, you get the notification. Also on the podcast side, rate and review, or leave a comment on the Spotify. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment. We'll even read it. We might even read it on the air.
Probably.
Or we'll just roast you.
Tell us who you think.
Both.
Tell. Actually, here's something. Here's an idea for a comment. Tell Brian and I who the We Are the Wish.com celebrity lookalikes of.
You look
Ooh.
like Ryan. You look like a crab who's trying to molt out of his shell with this red sweatshirt.
I would say the red sweatshirt doesn't help.
The red sweatshirt doesn't help.
Crab people.
Crab
And on that note, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for listening or watching the Three Rails Metro Hockey Podcast, a No Credentials Required podcast. We are proud a proud part. Oh, got timeout here. Staniel Stan's got a timeout.
Brian, why do you look like Dumb and Dumber?
Pretty bird. Pretty bird.
Hey,
yes,
you want to know the most
bird.
annoying sound in the world?
I know what the most annoying sound in the world is. There you go. All right.
Well done. Well done.
Well, let's try this again. Take two. Thank you for listening or watching
I'm going to bed.
the Three Rails Metro Hockey Podcast, which is a No Credentials Required podcast. We are proudly presented by the Belly Up Sports Media Network. For Brian, for Staniel San, I'm Ryan McCarthy. We will talk to you again next week on another edition of the Three Rails Hockey Podcast. Watch out for loose pucks and mind the gap.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.